Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series. Hey guys, it's Adam here, and welcome to PlayLoad. This is all my pickups, of August 2014. Now, 4 things I got to address quickly here. 1, this will not include any of the stuff you guys saw that I got in the UK. 2, I still have stuff to show you from what I got in Portugal, so stay tuned for that. 3, I just got back from PAX Prime in Seattle. This doesn't include anything I got there. And 4, this is not that long because obviously I spent a bunch of money on different things, on different video games over the course of the past couple of months. So this was a little bit more modest, so keep that in mind. So it'll be very short. But first up is Jaws Unleashed for the original Xbox. Now, this game always just kind of intrigued me because I couldn't believe there was a Jaws game at this point in time. You play as him and you like attack people, like you attack orcas. It's very, very bizarre. But this was interesting to me because this is a game I was looking for a really long time. Now tell me if this happens to any of you. You're looking for a game, you see it in a store, it intrigues you, but the case is in bad shape, or the price is wrong, or it's missing the manual, you know, some condition, like there's one of those 3 things that's wrong with it, or maybe there's another thing that's wrong with it. It's not until you find the perfect copy that's like, okay, it meets all the criteria, that you finally pick it up, and finally I got to do that with Jaws Unleashed. More commonly than any other, though, it was just that the manual was always missing, and I never knew why. Marvel Nemesis Rise of the Imperfects. Very happy to get this, actually, because I found this at a bookstore. It was $1. It was on clearance, and I remember playing the shit out of this when it came out back in like 2005. You play as the various Marvel characters, and you basically just attack and kill shit. It was pretty fun. Although, in all honesty, I don't remember it super well because, I mean, granted, the last time I played it was 9 years ago. But I did enjoy it quite a bit, so it's nice to get my hands on that. Star Wars Jedi Starfighter, the sequel to Star Wars Starfighter. I really liked that original game, and so I assume whenever I do get around to playing this that I'll enjoy it just as much. Basically, you just play in, you know, ships and different crafts, specifically like this one, I assume, for this game. And you just, you know, fly around and attack other ships, droid pilots, and you carry out, like, little missions and stuff. It's, you know, fun. I'm kind of looking for all these Star Wars games from the 6th gen, just because I really like Star Wars, and all that LucasArts stuff, man, you're never going to see more LucasArts stuff. Star Wars is now in the hands of EA. Narc for the original Xbox. I only got this for one reason. A friend of mine named Corey, shout out to him, he told me I had to pick this up. He said, like, this is one of the worst games ever. It's hilariously bad. You have to get this. And the example he kept using was, like, you're playing, obviously, as a narc, and you're spying on people, right? Like, and so I'm just going to use this clip here to kind of show you, or this shot here. He said in this scenario, if you were crouched, they wouldn't know you were there. Like, you could be standing right in the middle, crouched, and you could hear their conversation. If you stand up, they know you're there, and you get busted. It's like, that's how bad this game is. So, that's why I picked it up. Again, original Xbox stuff, much like this, it is so cheap right now. If you live in North America and you would like the Xbox at all, dude, strike. Now is the time. It is not going to stay cheap forever. Godfather, the game. Now, people know this more as a 360, and I think it was on the PS3 as well, game. But there was an original Xbox version. Now, this game is famous for one really significant reason, and that's that Marlon Brando did the voice work for this. Now, that's awesome because he basically did the voice work, as I understand it, on his deathbed. Like, quite literally his deathbed, like in his final weeks in the hospital. They came in, brought in a bunch of equipment, and he just did whatever, any gig that like anybody wanted him to do. In fact, it's my understanding there's actually a bunch of animated movies that have yet to be released because they went out, they got Marlon Brando, having no idea if they'll ever be able to use the audio or not, just because they don't know if those movies will ever be finished or even started. But there's like a archive of different roles that Marlon Brando voiced in his final days that for stuff we may never see. So this was one of the things, and probably the primary thing that did surface, which is Godfather the game. Epic Mickey 2, The Power of Two. Now, I do not even own Epic Mickey 1, just because I don't really care about picking it up, because it's a Wii game, and honestly, I don't care too much about the Wii, but, you know, I might do that eventually, I don't know. The reason I picked this up was just because Gamefly was having a sale, and they gave me one of those, like, $5 off coupons, so this was kind of burning a hole in my pocket. I think this was $8 or so when they were selling it with -5, so this is about $3, so that's why I picked it up. And I got a soft spot for Mickey Mouse because I knew his voice. Not in the games, but maybe one day I will. That'd be fucking cool as shit. Anyway, moving on. Soul Calibur 2. I got this, obviously, for the PS2. Alright, so here's the thing. When I was over in the UK, Next Level Games, those guys were cool enough to give me a copy of Soul Calibur 3 for the PS2, a North American copy. And so I started thinking about Soul Calibur more. And when I was out game hunting a little bit, I saw the PS2 version of this game. Now, I had the original Xbox version, and I just decided, you know what, I kind of want to get all three versions, you know, the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube. And the reason for that, if you recall this, if you were around, if you were paying attention to gaming when this game came out, the thing that's interesting about it is that each version of this game had an exclusive character. The Xbox version had Spawn, which was always, you know, Todd McFarlane's Spawn, which is a really odd choice, because that was by no means a character that console was known for. The GameCube version, which I would still really like to get my hands on, has Link from, you know, Legend of Zelda's Link in it, which is pretty sweet. And then the PS2 version here has Heihachi, I'm sure I butchered the pronunciation of that, from the Tekken series in it. So, yeah, I decided, you know what, I do want to track all those down. And of course, the Soul Calibur games, Soul Calibur 2 on any console is not particularly expensive. Even the GameCube version is pretty cheap. So, yeah, what the hell, went ahead and picked it up. I got Metalhead for the 32X. No special reason. I also labeled it, as you can see there. That's just painter's tape. Did a video on that a long time ago. But anyway, yeah, it's not too often you get to pick up another 32X game. I'm not too picky about being cartridges, or if the cartridges are loose or if they're in box. I obviously prefer box, but yeah, this was like $3. Yeah, I think they thought it was just a Genesis game. Although I can't imagine, even if they knew it was a 32X game, that it would be much more expensive than that, because not a rare game by any means. But yeah, just nice to pick up something else for the 32X, because that is a small library. And speaking of consoles I do not pick up games up for very often, I got Centipede for the Atari 7800. This literally cost me nothing. This was free. There are some game stores, at least, and this one came from this, that have like big bins of overstock, you know, things they know they're never going to be able to sell, or they have too much of, or in bad shape or whatever, and they just put stuff in there and label it as free. Now, I always go through those whenever I find them, and generally you'll find the obvious. You'll find, like, you know, 2K9 sports games, and you'll find a million copies of Just Dance and High School Musical 3, you know, shit like that. But every once in a while you'll find something like this, and usually it's Atari cartridges, either 2600 or very rarely do you see a 7800 cartridge in there, so that's why I picked it up, just because I don't have many 7800 games. I think this is actually my 5th 7800 game, so nice to pick that up. Mass Destruction for the Sega Saturn. You guys I'm very sure you're sick of hearing about this, but I'm working towards getting a complete North American Sega Saturn collection. And I chipped away. This one store had a couple, so I picked them up. First up was Mass Destruction, and the second up was, and this is pretty cool to actually find this. This was just, I don't know if this is the planets aligning or what, but I found Darius Gaiden. Now, the reason that's significant is because when I was in the UK, one of the ones I picked up was Darius 2, which was exclusive to Europe and Japan. We never got that. But I actually didn't have this one. So to just find this one in the wild, pretty cool, because now I got both of them, and that's all set. So there you go. And believe it or not, guys, that's it. That is all my video game pickups, really, for the month of August 2014. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all later.